And we are back with Keys to the Queendom live in LA, California. This is a massive milestone. We are here for the first time international, doing a podcast at a studio. Never done this before, but we have flown all the way here to bring you guys some amazing guest speakers, an amazing solo episode, and to give you guys an experience. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I was very close to not coming. I was very close to not making that flight because there was doubt, there was fear, all the excuses. And I'm so grateful to be in this room right now. And I cannot wait to take you guys through this journey. I found out a couple of days ago that a mentor of mine that I have been following, Jessie, passed away with stage 4 colon cancer. And for those of you who may not know her, she's the #1 network marketer. And she inspired me not only with her story, how she helped others, her big moves, but just everything about her was just kind and nurturing. And she had this amazing energy. A few days ago, my partner and I had literally just had a fight. We had a fight, and when we heard the news, we literally looked at each other after this massive fight, and it was all things to do with finance and money and whatever people fight about. And I said to him, we're fighting about this kind of stuff when life is so precious. Life is so precious. Welcome to the Queendom. And we are back with Keys to the Queendom live in LA, California. Hello, kings and queen. I am so excited to be in Network Studio. Shout out to my boy, Michael, who does an amazing Australian accent, by the way. This is a massive milestone. We are here for the first time international, doing a podcast at a studio. Never done this before. I've done it with guest speakers in Australia, but we have flown all the way here to bring you guys some amazing guest speakers, an amazing solo episode, and to give you guys an experience. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I was very close to not coming. I was very close to not making that flight because there was doubt, there was fear, all the excuses. And I'm so grateful to be in this room right now. And I cannot wait to take you guys through this journey. But before we begin this episode, before we really get into it, I ask you guys this one tiny favor. And that is, if you really love this show, you love Keys to the Queendom, you have been following my journey, we would really absolutely just appreciate you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We've been doing so much video content, and we really, really want to get more expansive, more growth, more amazing guest speakers. But it's also going to give you guys the opportunity not only to learn and to experience the guest speakers through video, it'll add more value into your life, more relationship as well. And my biggest value in my life is to help others. So all I ask you to do is hit that subscribe button, follow us on Spotify as well. And that is going to be an amazing thing that we really appreciate. Queen, how often have you said, I spent my whole life studying, I've been to school my whole life, and I've actually learned nothing that teaches me the tools and strategies to build a successful business in the outside world. You've probably spent thousands of dollars on courses, or you've heard fake news from business gurus. Well, I'm here to give this incredible news to everyone here right now that this is Queendom University. Get out of debt and actually start making money in the online space, knowing and having the foundations to build a successful business. Now, I'm talking because I have gone through the trenches. I have been a fitness coach, built my online business as a pro athlete, and now I am a business coach. You'll go from having absolutely no idea what your business is through, in the 8 weeks, learn the foundations of knowing what your purpose is, your vision and mission, and also understanding your business values with the execution to know what that business is. You'll also learn branding, social media, content strategy, marketing, and more importantly, how to sell. With Queendom University, it'll cut out the bullshit and remove all the fluff and get you working specifically on your business so you can execute this in 8 weeks to get ready to learn. I wanted you to have something where you get to access something straight away, where you get to fast track your growth, as well as remove any doubt, any overwhelming sensation or stress, or the question that everyone seems to ask, where do I begin? With Queendom University, you'll be able to build wealth, freedom, and at the end of the day, be an entrepreneur and be able to say, I have finally built my own thing, my own business. And I've stopped making money for someone else, and I'm now making money for my own empire. Queendom University. Now let's get into the episode here in California, Los Angeles. Now, I found out a couple of days ago that a mentor of mine that I have been following, Jessie, passed away with stage 4 colon cancer. And for those of you who may not know her, she's the #1 network marketer. And she inspired me not only with her story, how she helped others, her big moves, but just everything about her was just kind and nurturing. And she had this amazing energy. And I wanted to bring this up first and foremost because finding out that she died a few days ago, my partner and I had literally just had a fight. We had a fight, and when we heard the news, we literally looked at each other after this massive fight, and it was all things to do with finance and money and whatever people fight about. And I said to him, we're fighting about this kind of stuff when life is so precious. Life is so precious. Just like that. And so while you're listening to this episode, and how I said to you guys, I was this close to not coming because of fear and what ifs, if they don't like me, what if I stuff up with the guest speakers? But what if today was your last day? Are you happy with the moves you've made in your life? Are you taking action every single day? Moving into making decisions quickly, because success equals speed. And if you are currently right now scared to make big, bold moves, or you're frightened for what people are going to say about you, or fear of judgment, just what I said before. Life can end so quickly, and there is an expiry date. So in this episode, I just want you now to just hone in on your queen energy, sink into your heart. Know that you are more than capable of doing anything, more than capable of building your empire. And let me help you with that with this solo episode. Now, you're probably wondering, what is this solo episode Tamara's doing? And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I had no idea what I was going to do. You know, I had a bit of an idea, but it wasn't landing. And you guys know I have probably my most creative things come to me when I'm either having wine, sitting on the toilet, or after a really big argument with Jordan. And I was getting my pants tailored for the mastermind I'm doing with James Whitaker. And it came to me. And it was actually James that inspired me with this episode. Now, I talk to you guys a lot about storytelling, how important it is to build your brand, how to build your business. And you guys know my story, being homeless on the streets, building an empire. But what about the people who feel like I don't have a story? I don't have these traumatic events that have happened in my life. I don't think I have something to share to the world that's going to actually make an impact, that's actually going to change the world. Well, I just want to let you know that that is not true. And I'm going to teach you guys this framework that I thought of a few days ago, but it feels so juicy. It feels so queen delicious. And this is going to support you guys to build the story you truly want, but also be able to build a brand and business and make an impact regardless of what that story is, because everyone deserves to build an empire and everyone has a story. Okay. So how I actually created this framework was through acronyms, and you guys know I'm a framework queen and an acronym queen. And the first acronym to S.T.O.R.Y, you're right, S.T.O.R.Y, is S. And the first piece, and I want you guys to get your pens and papers ready, is significance. thinking of your storytelling framework begins with significance. What are the things that have happened in your life? And again, take time to think about this. 3 key emotional events that is significant to you that have changed your life or has made an impact to your life. And this can be positive and negative. I advise thinking of 3 for each because I feel it's really important that we all have these significant moments in our life to recognize it, to put pen to paper and to bring that forward. Because everyone's had these moments in life where it's changed the game for you, positive or negative. And so I want you to really think about that first piece. What's significant in your life that you've been through? Do not worry about the time and how old you were. Just take time right now to write that down. And so the next piece to this beautiful acronym with S.T.O.R.Y is T, and that is theme. When you think about the first piece of that significance piece, right? Naturally, we're always going to think of the reoccurring patterns that come with it in your theme of life, the theme of these patterns that you may see come forward for you. So for myself, as an example, so many moments in my life where I noticed that there was like connecting the bits, right? And it was like there was hardships here, there was perseverance here, there was making sure you show up no matter what's going on in your life. And I realized through these themes created this pattern where I was able to then see that there was always this sort of beautiful element of the theme of my life. And that's okay if you feel like this may need a bit of time to sink in, but I feel like these themes then become micro and macro topics that you can then start to get bits and pieces as well. And again, I find as well, when you put energy into this, naturally you're going to see, okay, I see now that there were these moments of hardship that I went through. And this is where it's really important to find those themes to bring forward as well when you're building your brand and your storytelling. Now, the next bit of your acronym is O, and that is options. You know, thinking back to those events, those themes, you know, what were the options that were there in front of you? Remember that sort of scenario where you've got that fork in the road and it's like, do I go down this road or that road? What are the options? You know, am I going to dive into discomfort or am I going to stay the same? Every option that you faced was a life lesson, whether it was good or bad. And what did you learn from that? And just have a think about that. For me, I remember as well, you know, when I think about the moment when I was diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress, there was an option there when I was about to compete for my pro show where I had to make a decision to let that change the way I compete or change the way I go into this show. And it was those options there, and there may be more than one. And it also then created a huge change into my coaching business because I then really went into this journey of holistic approach. So you see there from one small event, the theme of perseverance and survival and embracing hardships and to show up came options along the way. And so for you guys, I just want you to think about the options that were there, good or bad. What were your life lessons and how did you overcome it? Take that in. Now, because I'm a little bit wacky and weird, R has 4 letters with it because I feel like when you get to R, and that is basically the responsibility you had in that moment, in that event in your life. From that, it was all to do with what were the results that came from that. So R is responsibility that you had, results as well. What were also the relevance that you had with your audience? And there was a 4th one, and now I've completely forgot it, but I will come back to it. So when it comes to the themes, the options, now we're looking at the responsibility. You know, what did you have for yourself that you took ownership for? And it's great for this because when you start to reflect on your own ownership and your own responsibility, it creates an element for you to then see how you can relate it back to your audience. And so looking at that, looking at the results you had, good or bad, how is that going to be relatable and relevant to them, to your consumers, to people online? You know, and that's where you start to create that connection piece right there. Hey, beautiful kings and queens, are you right now in a space where you're ready to take action and build your business, yet you struggle where to begin? You're feeling stuck and overwhelmed with all the things you need to do when it comes to building a business. Build the business of your dreams in the online space and be in the arena of all the incredible, great humans out there that are building 7 to 8 figure businesses. Now, the foundations that I truly believe in that you are going to learn through this membership is sales, marketing, content creation, social media, money mindset, and of course, branding. Now, all of this will be accessible for you to be learning what is currently hot right now in the market and how you can create your own business and build a successful business in the online space. All you have to do right now is DM Empire in my Instagram or email myself and my team, and we will get the ball rolling so you can have your empire and start making moves in the online space. And now we're going into R, and I was special in this because I couldn't just pick 3. I have 4 beautiful words with this. And the first one was, what did you recognize within yourself? What was the responsibility you took, the ownership in that? What were the results that got you there? What were the results, good or bad? And how is that relevant to your audience? Because one thing I've learned in branding and marketing, it's really easy, and I did it too, to talk about yourself, but everything has to relate back to them, to your ideal clients, to your consumers. And so if I was to go through, what I recognized in my past, the responsibility, results, and more than that, the relatability in my clients was pain became my power. Pain became my purpose. I took ownership on not playing victim anymore. I went into growth mindset. The results it gave me was able to then have a voice for other people to build an online business. And the results show through the embracing your hardships and building an empire. And how that's relevant to my consumers is that it gets to show people that you can have nothing and still build a life of wealth by these steps. So do you see how these 4 R's make a huge difference when it comes to storytelling? Because it's taking responsibility, recognizing something in yourself, looking at the results, and last but not least, how that's relatable to your consumers. And last but not least is why, and that is your values. So I actually think a lot of people don't know what values are. And this is, again, what is important to you. And I've spoken a lot about how I used to think I knew what my values were based on the mentors I've had and based on the people I was around. And the more I focused on their values and tried to promote my business online, I wasn't authentic to myself as a brand. And I was then attracting people that weren't aligned with me. And so your values are what's important to you. And so what I would do in this moment would be pick 5 to 6 values that are really significant to not your personal life, but your business values. And really have a think about what they are. For me, freedom, wealth, personal growth, exciting life, creativity, and contribution. And so while this may feel like a lot to take in, when you can reflect on your values, then you can start to think about how your voice and tonality is in the online space. For example, freedom gets to be something I can show people. Freedom can be something, excuse me. Freedom can be something that I get to show people based on what I do traveling around the world, being able to showcase people the evidence I have based on where I've come from. But even when it comes to exciting life and creativity, that gets to be what I show through my creativity with my content, my marketing, and my branding. Guys, when it comes to also wealth being one of my values, from a visual aspect, my business has gold. And then the quirky, creative, exciting, fun, weird side of me has the pink that stands out. And again, just know this has been something that we have built over the years and have been able to just kind of just add these layers in, right? And so when you come back to it, and then you, again, going from the very beginning of the acronym, you can start to piece together and start to see how this can become your story based on everything that's connecting with you, your authentic self as well. And I know this may feel like it could be a lot, but this is what we do. This is what my passion is. And if you are, listening right now and going, yeah, I figured out what my event was, my theme, my results, and then my values, but I don't know how to put it all together. That is what we do. And that is what I want to support you guys with. Queendom Mastermind is everything to do with building your story and building your brand in the online space with marketing and content creation. And if you're listening to this and you feel like this is your opportunity to build that story, and now you know it doesn't need to be this traumatic thing. It can be what you want it to be, which gets to be more relatable to your consumers, then let me work with you. Let me be that voice, your queen voice, to bring forward your empire, my queen. Woo! Queen, what a solo episode. Thank you so much for being here. And this has been definitely big dick energy. You know, I've been all about that. And right now, you know, if you're listening, you're feeling it, like this is exactly what I need right now. You know, Queendom Mastermind is exactly that when it comes to working exclusively with myself, but just being able to bring your story to life. You know, you don't need that traumatic event, that tragic story. It gets to be what you want it to be. And I would love nothing more than to work with you, bringing queen energy or king and making big ass, bold moves so that you can see and be that empire you've always wanted to be. Guys, I am your host, Tamara Meyer, live in the US. Thank you so much for listening, my queen and king. I will see you all next week. Woo!